Welcome to the second Breeders' Cup video on Thursday, October 30th, 2014. This is for the mile. It is for 3-year-olds and up, a mile on turf. There's a field of 14 plus 1 also eligible. The biggest name who is missing from this year's race, though, is Wise Dan. Injury knocked him out shortly before the pre-entries were taken on last Wednesday. So no Wise Dan for this year's race. But his jockey is in the race, John Velasquez. And actually, he is right up first. So let's go look ahead at this year's mile field. Number 1 is Grand Arch. John Velasquez will ride for Brian Lynch. He is by Arch. Second is Shadwell Mile, and fifth in the Woodbine Mile. He has improved since shortening up. Of course, second to the man that is Dan. In that Shadwell Mile. Probably one of the better Americans in this race, with him shortening up. So, again, we have to see. Number 2 is, obviously, Joe Talamo will ride for Phil D'Amato. He's by Schwarzer. Yeah, something like that. But fourth in the Del Mar Mile, and when the Shoemaker, fifth in last year's mile, he will be up front. He does not like to rate. If they try to rate him, then he is going to finish up track. So yeah. Number 3 is the first of the Europeans. Veda. Christophe Simeon will ride for Elaine Dupuy. She is by Dan Silly. Second in the Wilderstein and sixth in the Sanderium. Both of those, though, were not Group 1 races, but her last Group 1 race, she was second in. Number 4 is Mustajib. Patrick Smolin will ride for Diamond Weld. He is by Naive. Second in the Blue Marine Mile and won the Jersey. Finished third earlier this year in the Irish 2000 Guineas. I think fact that he's done well in Ireland, and Irish horses usually tend to do well in the Breeders' Cup is a big plus. Number 5 is Toronado. Richard Hughes will ride for Richard Hannon. He is by High Chaparral, of course, 2-time Breeders' Cup turf winner. Second in the Moulin de la Champ and Sussex. But earlier this year, he defeated Verrazano, who won the Haskell last year in the U.S., and then he went over to Europe. Not that great there. And Anodin, who I will talk about in a little bit in the Queen Anne. And that is all I'm going to say about Anodin right now. I believe he is the best of the Europeans. And he is definitely going to be in my top 3. But I also would not be surprised if he gets beat. Number 6 is Tom's Tribute. Mike Smith will ride for James Cassidy. He is by Lionheart. Won the Eddie Reed and Del Mar Mile. 3 of his last 4 races have been wins. My only concern is that he's coming off, I think, a bit of a layoff. But I don't think that could be a huge deal for him. I think of the Americans, he is one of the best, if not the best, you might say. Grand Arch has a great chance. Well, he's from Canada, more from Canada than U.S. Kai Gun, who I will talk about in a minute or two. Summer Front, again, Seek Again, Tourist. Honestly, the Americans aren't the strongest group, but this race had overfilled up with a ton of horses because of the absence of Wise Dan. So we'll have to see. Number 7 is Kygon. Patrick Husbands will ride for Mark Casse. He's actually also Canadian. More. He's by Northern Fleet. Fourth in the Shadwell Mile. Second in the Woodbine Mile. He's actually run very well. No matter what distance he's been running this year. That's why he might be a little bit better when you think about it over Tom's Tribute, but I'm going to go with Tom's Tribute over him for this race, only because I think the Lionheart is better than Northern Fleet at the moment, but I wouldn't be surprised if they flip-flopped. Number 8 is Tradestorm. Jamie Spencer will ride for David Simcock. He is by Trade Fair, second in the Strengthsell, and then he won the Woodbine Mile. He has one other North America start, but that was also in Canada, so this will be his U.S. debut. And the way he won the Woodbine Mile was pretty, in a way, impressive. But yeah, if it's a hot pace, even if it's not a hot pace, look for him to be running late. Number 9 is Anoden. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you who his sire is. His sire's a Naba. He'll be ridden by Olivier Pellier, trained by Freddie Head. His dam has already had a Breeders' Cup winner. I think you've heard of her. Her name's Goldakova. This is her full brother, and I think this is a race they've been pointing to all year as well. Fifth in the Laforet, second in the Marat. As I said, big sisters Goldakova. He's got some big hoof prints to fill with her. I'm not sure he can do it this year, but if he comes back next year, he definitely has a monster chance to do it. Number 10 is Summerfront. Javier Castellano will ride for Christophe Clement, and I love Summerfront. I really do love Summerfront. He's by Warfront, second in the Eddie Reed and Shoemaker. He has faced some very nice horses in the past, and I really, really want to see him get a Grade 1 win. He's one of the few horses that I really wanted to see get a Grade 1 win. The other one is now retired. That's Awesome Gem, and he did get its Grade 1 in the Hollywood Gold Cup a couple years ago. But Summerfront, it's not a Grade 1 winner yet, I believe. Pretty sure it's not. Hold on, Equibase. I'm sorry. Let's have double check, make sure I didn't. But about 95% sure he's not a Grade 1 winner. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm actually right. He's not a Grade 1 winner. He's been close, but he's not a Grade 1 winner quite yet. I just don't know if it's gonna happen in this race. Or so. Number 11 is Sayed, or Sayed, I think, Sayed, whatever. Julian Leparoux will ride for Kieran McLaughlin. He is by Street Sense, third in the Shadwell Mile, and fourth in the Baruch. 3-win race streak was broken with fifth in the 4-star Dave. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. He's going the right direction. In Greatest Six Company, though. Yeah, not 100% sure. Number 12 is Seek Again. Joel Rosario will ride for Belmont. This is the first of 2 Belmont trainees. 6th in the Shadwell Mile, won the 4-star Dave. Has only really had one bad race since coming over from Europe. And I think he will rebound quite a bit in this year's mile. I don't think he's going to win, but he is definitely in my top 3. And number 13 is Taurus, the other Belmont trainee. This one will be ridden by Druzy Napravnik. He is by Tiznow, second in the Secretariat and won the Sir Cat. It did take him a while to break his maiden, but he has done well in both of his stakes races. He is a 3-year-old, so I'm not 100% sure he can win. But for what it's worth, Goldakova was 3 when she won her first mile, so it can be done. And last but not least is Krakenite, number 14, Stephanie Persquia will ride for Jonathan Peace. He is by Bernstein, 11th in the La Forêt and 8th in the Prix de Jockey Club. I believe that might be even the French Derby. I could be wrong about that. All of his races have been in France, which is Coursework Goldakova was based, and Inoden right now. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. And the also eligible is another horse like Summerfront. I really want to see win a great one. And that's Mr. Commons. Corey Nakatani will ride for John Sheriffs. He is by Artie Schiller, second in the City of Hope and an allowance race. But he has had success in the mile before. He was 5th in the 2012 and 2011 editions. But I'm not really sure. I mean, I love Mr. Commons. He was on the Derby Trail when he was younger, as a rambunctious 3-year-old. I think he even ran in Derby, but I forget. It's been so long. But if he gets in, unfortunately, with who's in this year's race, I don't think he'll be a contender. But that is your field for the mile. So yeah, number 1 is Grand Arch. Number 2 is obviously. Number 3 is Veda. Number 4 is Mustanjeeb. Number 5 is Coronado. Number 6 is Tom's Tribute. Number 7 is Kagan. Number 8 is Tradestorm. Number 9 is Inoden. Number 10 is Summerfront. Number 11 is Sayed. Number 12 is Seek Again. Number 13 is Taurus. Number 14 is Krakenite. And the also eligible is Mr. Commons. So up next are the picks. So to win the mile, I have Toronado. I just feel like that he is the best horse in this year's race. And even if Wise Dan was in the field. I'm not 100% sure he could even beat him. For second, I have Tom's Tribute. As I said, I feel like that he's the best American. You could say the same about a couple other horses in this race that are from the U.S. and Canada, but I just feel like he has the best record on him. And in third, I have Seek Again. If there's, I feel like that if Toronado and Tom's Tribute falter, he's the horse who can pick up the pieces possibly and get the win. And for my dark horse, I have Anodin. If I didn't choose Anodin as my dark horse, I think it just would have been a little bit wrong. I was not a huge fan of Goldakova, but the fact that she came here and beat our top turf milers on the nose 3 times, including the first time where she defeated the defending champ, Kip DeVille, was pretty impressive. Of course, that streak was broken by Court Vision, who is half brother to Kip DeVille's sire. But yeah. So again, for the win, I like Toronado. Place, Tom's Tribute. Show, Seek Again, and my dark horse is Anodin. Couple of notes before I get into the distaff. If you saw my video last night, then you saw I apologized about Windfire. I thought he was a she. She was a he. It turns out that he was a she, and she's 3. So it will be interesting how well she really does in the sprint. So again, I apologize to her. I apologize to her connections for getting her 6th run. But yeah, up next will be the distaff. That's going to be I don't even know how long it's going to be because I have a lot to talk about for that race. So until a little bit. Bye.